You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons and Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 452, recorded May 2023, posted June 2024. A mouthful of vampire juice.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we're continuing the Dog and Pony Adventures. That's right, Curse of Strahd, mixing it up in Castle Ravenloft, going after the big bad vampire himself, Strahd von Zarovich. And today we are continuing those adventures as they climb up one of the towers of Castle Ravenloft to attempt to defeat Strahd's heart. It's like a metaphor, but it's also a giant crystal heart that's at the top of one of his towers. We'll get into it later. Allow me to introduce our players and maintain a totally normal level of coherence throughout this podcast. First up, the richest Dan in Duckburg, Dan Morin.
I'm the richest Dan in Duckburg. Yes, I'm Dan Morin. I play Cast Notar's Crucible, a.k.a. Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onotar. I use he, him pronouns. Crucible uses they, them pronouns. And that's all I have to say about that.
Also joining us, Aline Sims.
I'm very concerned about the very special energy that we're bringing tonight.
I don't expect that. We're all very calm. Everybody's been very calm so far.
Fascinating. Tony has not had too much caffeine. It's great. Okay, Aline Sims. Yeah, that's me. I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf, Ranger, and Androdite, everyone's favorite Mastiff. And we all use she, her pronouns. There we go. I got through it.
Woo. Also joining us, it's Erica Ensign.
Tony's had too much caffeine. I've had too much bourbon. Maple flavored bourbon, the only kind of bourbon I will accept. Thank you. Anyway, Erica Ensign, she, her. I play Brildish, the Dwarven Paladin, also she, her. And also Brildish's amazing celestial pony, Pony Cindelarent, he, him.
No relation. Also joining us, Micah Sargent.
That's me! I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid. Elevor and I use he, him pronouns. I also play Samus, the saber-toothed tiger, and occasionally Danu, the fey mimic octopus. Samus uses she, her pronouns, and Danu doesn't really care about pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, Jane Ritt.
Hello, everyone. I play Lena Julina, the human rogue, and we both use she, her pronouns.
All right, I am doing that thing where I am talking slowly in a strange way, where I think of entire sentences between my words, because my brain is on fire, a fire stoked with imagination and fueled by dice. It's a weird kind of fire. Is it a metaphor? I don't know. Am I Greg Davies today, or am I Alex Horn? I will ping pong between them like with madness.
Referencing
You'll notice that what I did incorrectly was I did not introduce our players in initiative order because I am bad at Dungeons and Dragons, or at least podcasting about it, or maybe I'm okay. We all make mistakes.
Who says that's even important?
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
It was important to me, and now I've let myself down, and that's the only thing that really matters. Why are you even listening to this, people? No.
Thank you for listening to this, people.
Whatever. I'm ambivalent to it. It's going to be a great episode, everybody. So you have been climbing the North Tower of Ravenloft, intent on finding your way to Strahd's heart. For at the top of one of his towers, he has this strange crystalline heart that you know is like, I don't know, a source of power. You know it's important to him.
Yeah.
And at the very least, it is protected by flying halberds, which are fancy axes. You know, they're axes that are, put
not
on
to be
airs.
confused with flying hellbirds.
Yeah. And so, you don't put a swarm of flying axes around something that you're like, I don't care. If people wreck it, it's not a big deal. You have defeated about half of the flying axes. The heart has started beating faster and faster, and you have drawn the attention of a quartet of vampire spawn, which are vampires. They're not full-on Strahd von Zarovich level vampires, but they are menacing problems. You'll remember you fought vampire spawn back in Vallaki in the Coffin Maker's shop. The vampires were kind of taken over Vallaki, and you mainly were able to defeat them in the Coffin Maker's shop by like punching holes in the wall and getting beams of sunlight to stream through. You now find them in the top of one of Ravenloft's mighty towers. There is no sunlight to be found. So we're gonna see how this goes. In initiative order, it's gonna be Aragal, as played by Jane, Elevor Micah, Imra Aline, Crucible Dan, Broldish Erica, Lena, Jane again, and then Samus at the very end, and there's some bad guys mixed in there too. So Aragal, our somewhat confused friendly neighborhood assassin, is first. Aragal is kind of halfway up the giant spiral staircase that in this tower, looking over into the huge chasm pit that just basically runs hundreds of feet from the base of Ravenloft up to the top of this open tower. There is a sword, sorry, I keep calling them swords because I'm bad at weapons. There is a floating halberd nearby. There are also vampire spawn that are just like crawling down the sides of the wall of the tower in all of your direction. What will Aragal do?
So you know who does have a sword? Aragal, and he is going to make an attack with it. That's only an 11 to hit.
I don't think that will hit. That will not hit a halberd.
But luckily he has multi-attack with that
Multi-attack.
sword.
Multi-attack.
It is worse. Aragal peaked early.
Didn't he murder a halberd in one hit before?
Yeah,
He
crazy.
got confused and he's just sword fighting it, but like not in a way that damages the sword.
Like,
Yes,
like he's
in
in like a
kinda-
classic Errol Flynn
It's
movie,
kind of like
sort
sword
of.
enrichment.
Yes, he's like, he would stab at somebody who was holding the axe, but there's no one there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But he's
person
going,
would be
"Ha-ha."
dead if the axe was not magic and flying.
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Slightly up the stairs, Elevor and Samus are also doing battle with a pair of axes that have come down to attack you all and Broldish. So 2 axes floating right near you, several vampires crawling down the walls at you.
Yes.
2 axes, no waiting.
I am going to strike out at the nearest axe here. And does a 26 hit?
Yes, a 26 hit.
All right. That's going to be 11 acid damage against that closest halberd.
Halberds, I mean, I guess they don't, it's not that they dislike acid damage, but they don't like it either. That halberd is horribly mauled, mutated, scarred. It is taken serious property damage from the acid damage.
Good. Some good property damage.
Mm-mm.
And let me see if that's all I want to do. Yep, that's all I want to do.
Let's see here. Somebody in the stream has pointed out something about our Dungeons and Dragons, which is super helpful, and because we're bad at things. And we're
Only
just trying
remembering. We're
Yes,
bad at
we're bad
remembering.
at
Okay, so
remembering.
last
Well,
week
that's the-
Crucible cast Bless on 3 members of our party.
I
and we
remember.
forgot.
We have a recording of it. Obviously, we could go to that, which we won't
No.
do because we'll never do that. Cut to recording.
Roll
No.
the tapes.
I remember the description, Dan, of getting like the heavy hitters or strikers with it.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
I
guessing-
think it was Lena, Aragal, and Imra. Does that sound
Correct.
right?
So,
Right.
Tony,
Yeah.
would an 11 or 13 have hit?
An 11 or 13 would not have hit.
I think they're 15. I think
Yes,
we figured
I think
out
you know
last
that.
week.
I think you know their armor class of the halberds
So-
is 15.
Can we
Thank
put
you
a
for
little-
catching it. Aragal is just not on point
Not-
today.
yeah.
Can we put a little blessed icon on each of the blessed people, please?
Oh yes.
That's a
Great.
good idea.
That is why Micah is in charge of everything.
That is
All
one.
right, hold on.
I'm also dungeon master from time to
Yes.
time with Roll20.
I'm putting little blessed icons on people. So who is the third person?
Lena, Imra,
Imra.
and
Okay. You each get a bless, and you know who else gets a bless? Listener Small. Or oh, sorry.
Spall.
Yay.
Spall. Listener
They were not,
Small.
they were
Listener
not
of the
saying
week.
anything about the size of listener. Oh, it's listener small.
No, appropriately sized listener small. You know what? For remembering minutia from a week ago and remembering more about our D&D than we did, shout out to listener small. If you want to be like listener small, well, you're gonna have to wait until they offer some kind of series of workshops on how to, live a better life. But you could also tune in on Tuesdays, and they're here sometimes. I can't can't speak for them. We do not have an exclusive arrangement with listener Paul yet.
Listener Small gets inspiration.
Yes.
That as well, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
I
first time we have
forget
granted
if that's
inspiration to a
transferable
listener.
to somebody else.
I think amongst themselves,
Mhm.
but not into the game.
The key is I don't listen to myself. I don't care for me. But anyway, that was Hellfor's turn.
Let's
and
talk
then
to our
some-
therapists
Yeah,
about that
and
after the show.
some slight no retcons were needed. Some slight reinforcement of Argal's turn went as it should have. Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
All good.
Next, I have to count. It's so many turns before the axes get to go. It's Imra's turn. Imra, you and Androdite are on the stairs, a little bit up from Argal, a little bit down from Broldish and Samus. I guess there's one axe floating near you. There are other axes nearby.
This is all true.
Mm.
Okay, so the axes are all pretty much within melee range of everybody at this point,
Seems
right?
like it. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think I'm just gonna
Yeah, including you,
Mm.
unfortunately.
yeah, so I'm debating between aiming at the one next to me or trying to take out the two that have had at least some damage done.
Do you have
Um,
something to make it so that you don't have disadvantage when you're making a ranged attack with one that's close to you?
Excellent point. I do not.
Dang.
However, I do have +6 on my rolls with the longsword or the battle axe. So
Ooh.
Plus
Um,
you're blessed.
plus I'm blessed. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm gonna try to take out the one in front of me. I think I'm gonna use the longsword because I don't want Broldish to feel bad about the state of her battle axe. That was a 9 plus 4 doesn't even matter at this point. So let's do again. Oh, much better. That's a 19 on the die.
Hey.
And that does, oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. That does 9 slashing damage, which I know is not enough to take it out, but
You have significantly damaged many of the axes. You really spread the damage around, people. There's 5
what I do.
axes hanging out, bothering you, and 3 of them are badly damaged, but still floating there. 2 of them, mint in box. Yeah.
They're in boxes?
We should take those and sell them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're evil, and they're magic, and they hurt people.
And thus worth some money.
I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Yeah,
there's a
we're
lot of-
more
Yeah.
Strahd coin.
I
Yeah, there's a
still think we
huge
can make them
liability
good
issue.
and have them fly along with us.
oh no,
but-
Oh, no.
You don't try to. No, you don't get in a relationship trying to rehabilitate.
Don't try to fix them.
It just does. it
Never
just does
try
not
to
work.
fix them.
You mean a
Yeah.
project as a relationship is not a good idea?
No, no,
Mm.
sorry.
What were you saying about therapists, Micah?
What is Tuesday? What is the T in Total Party Kill if not therapy? Therapy Party
Um,
Kill?
Georgia Dow was unavailable for this podcast.
Sadly.
Crucible, that's you, Dan. You're at the very bottom of the stairs, protecting. It looks like you're in the vicinity of Basilica, the very untalkative flesh golem. There's an axe right up next to you.
Oh, hey, Axe.
Hi.
Oh,
What?
God.
No one had Dr. Axe yet.
Oh, dear.
Oh, hello. Perhaps we could have a civil conversation.
Stop making things have voices.
Tony,
Are you screaming that at yourself?
No, that's
Tony,
me talking to
what's,
Dan.
What's the range? How far away are the vampire spawn at this point?
There's some math because they're up, but I would say I'm going to say that they are 40 feet away.
That says 30 when you show that.
Yeah, and then they're up. I measured
Okay.
30 across and then 10 up.
Okay. I want to.
Yeah.
How can I
Yeah.
get? How can
Yeah,
I
I'm
get
a dungeon
close?
master.
Pythagoras is rolling
Yeah.
in his
How
grave.
can I
right
get
now.
closer to you?
To them, to me. I mean, you live in the same
I
town
mean,
as me. You're
emotionally,
honestly
Tony,
a little
emotionally.
How could you get closer to the
The
vampires?
vampire spawn.
Well, you could. Do you have the
Spider
ability
climb?
to
Give them a
spider
gift.
climb, or
Talk
wait
to them.
until they get closer?
Yeah, maybe I'll do a ready to action.
You can do a ready action. I'm going to tell you, their turn is soon, and you know what they're going to do? Come
Get
closer
closer.
to you. They
Come a
they don't
little
have any
bit
weapons,
closer.
right? They
Wow, spoilers.
well, they're. I
They
mean, they're,
are
you don't
weapons.
spider
Alright.
climb with an axe in one hand.
Team, let me ask you what your preferences are. Would you like vampires that are A, running away, vampires that are B, paralyzed, or vampires that are C, potentially set on fire by sunlight.
D, all of the above.
If they run
I can only do one
away,
per turn, and
won't
I
they
only
come back?
Eventually, but that would give us
eventually-
time to take out the halberds.
But holding them is also good.
Mm.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Because-
That will only take one charge out of the holy symbol, and
So it doesn't require
Basically-
And
concentration?
how many does
No.
it get?
it can get all of them within 30 feet. And if they close,
Oh.
they'll be pretty close. So
Um,
they'll have to make a saving throw, and they will get a chance to try and repeat basically that
Oh,
save
see, the
every
saving
turn.
throw, that worries me.
Yeah,
Is the saving throw
and-
any better than, or any more difficult for them than it would be for turning them?
I think it's
Or is it all the
pretty-
same?
I think it's similar. It'll be a little harder. It's a wisdom saving throw for turn plus, as opposed to a. They're both wisdoms. It's one more for the turn undead.
if they take damage while paralyzed, does that break the
No,
spell?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's just paralyzed for a
Ooh.
minute or until
That
they
sounds
save.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
like
like
that.
that.
Okay, I will raise my shield on which is emblazoned the holy symbol of Ravenkind, which I have fixed
Mhm.
there, and I will set myself so that when those vampires move when they're all within 30 feet, I will paralyze them
Okay.
or attempt.
Mm-hmm.
No, be positive.
Yeah.
I will,
I
as an
will
action, I
do
will
it.
summon the power
We will.
of the holy symbol of Ravenkind.
Broldish, you are next. You are slightly up the stairs, or I guess you're at the very top of the stairs relative to the group. 2 axes in your vicinity, both of them damaged.
Well, I'm going to use my damaged axe to try to attack the damaged axe, the one that is closest to Samus and Elevor. I don't like them being that close to something that could possibly damage them. I'm going to roll a 2 on the die, so I'm definitely going to need to take my second attack immediately. And oh boy, that's not a lot better. Let's see. 6 plus 8 is 14 minus 1. It's 13, and I don't have bless. So Hala be praised anyway. But you know what? Since
What?
we're right here,
Mm.
Pony is going to he's going to try to use his celestial hooves and attack that same one. He feels very embarrassed actually
Mhm.
about my Brildish's performance. Let's see, what is his plus on attacking? Plus 4? That's a 16.
Ooh.
So yeah,
16 hits.
good job. I mean, he doesn't do a heck of a lot of damage. That is 1, 4 plus 2, 6. So he does 6 points of hoof
this-
damage.
Halberd had 6 hit points, and I imagine the halberd is there, and Pony kind of rears up and just kicks it out of the air, and the halberd
Nice.
just falls down
Yeah.
the seemingly endless tower or pit there.
And it goes ding.
Ding ding.
Brildish is both thrilled and really chagrined.
All right. The vampire spawn are next. Now, the movement of the vampire spawn is a little weird because they can spider climb. And I was trying to figure out which way the spiders are, the vampire spawns are going to attack. I think they're going to kind of follow the curvature of the staircase here, but kind of launch themselves down from above and drop in kind of into the middle of the group.
I hate
for
it
their
when
attack.
spiders do that. And vampires.
Mhm.
Now, I don't think there's any way that they can do this without provoking, without triggering your thing, Dan. So,
Great. That's what I like to hear.
so I'm just kind of arranging them in a. They've kind of basically pounced on the front of the group here. There's 4 of them. One of them lunges toward Broldish. One of them lunges toward Elevor, and one lunges toward Samus. One lunges toward Imra.
As
And
they lunge into range, the holy symbol flares, and they must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw.
All right. So I need to roll a DC 15 wisdom save. I got 4 vampires. Rolling a D20 4 times.
Yikes.
I got a
I don't like
12.
that
I got a
too.
4. I got a critical success and a 3. Their wisdom modifier is +0. So one vampire
Okay.
has seen
I'll take
some
that.
things.
Those are good odds.
The other vampires are very sad. What happens to them with this sad thing that you're sadding them with?
They are paralyzed for 1 minute, but they can repeat that saving throw at the end of each turn to end the effect.
All right. So basically, like 3 of them launch themselves down there and then are like frozen in place. And I put little blue dots.
I guess technically, Tony, given that this is a reaction that triggered on their turn, I guess they technically do get to repeat that saving throw immediately, which is a point that I did not consider because now it's the end of their turn.
Well, you stole at least a turn from them then.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because
correct.
they could have been biting,
Which is-
stabbing, slashing.
Yeah.
Still great.
So one of them also you have paralyzed. They launch themselves down into perfect, like, you know, they think it's an ambush on all of you, but then when they ambush you,
They're
and then
locked in
can't
here with
move,
us.
Yeah, they're locked in there with you. So one of them, and I'm going to imagine that it's the leader of the pack, and literally doesn't realize that the 3 vampires behind him have frozen in place.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, and so that vampire is just feeling great. That vampire, this is Oliver the vampire. I've decided, and Oliver is going to
Spent 5 years
let's
in hell.
see. Reference acknowledged. So many people come and go from that island. Oliver is going to let's see. See, Oliver could just attack Imra or attempt to drain life from Imra. You know what? Let's keep it simple. We're gonna start. Oliver wields his claws as his weapons. This is 2 claw attacks coming at you, Imra. I have rolled a 24, which I feel real good about, and a 20, maths 20 to hit.
That's really annoying.
Yeah, that's both of them.
That's both of them. All right.
Mm.
Rolling damage here.
I am not close enough to you to be able to help. I am
Each
sorry.
attack is going to be 6 damage. That's 12 damage total.
Okay.
All right. So the vampires then end their turn. Crucible, you're telling me that I then make 3 wisdom saving throws for the vampires.
Correct.
I rolled
Son
a 10,
of
a
a
2,
gun.
and a natural 20.
Ugh.
So one vampire shakes it off. That vampire,
Shake it on.
gonna get some more vampire names here from my fantasy name generator.
Yeah,
that
Oliver's
vampire,
a very
Oliver
fantastic
was-
name.
Whoa.
You need to reload that fancy name.
Recalibrate.
that vampire's name is. You know what? These names are not great.
I hope it's Oliver again.
It's not Oliver. again.
Smalliver.
The first one was Elvira. We're not going to do that. We don't want to get sued. The second one was Poison.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm figuring
That
they're all
girl
meeting.
is
They're all meeting up. They're like, oh yeah. Wait. What's your vampire name? I'm Poison.
Dan,
What about you?
Dan,
I'm-
you know,
I'm
Oliver.
picturing 80s hairband.
Dan, I respect you
I'm
as a person.
Elvira.
As a person and a friend, but it's so painfully clear that you haven't watched all of what we do in the shadows, and it makes it hard to love you.
I'm sorry.
That's
See,
okay.
that vampire wants nothing but a good time.
Yep. The next
How
name
can they
that is
resist?
generated when I clicked it again because I was like, this list is no good. You know, I mean, tell me if this is a worse vampire name than Oliver. Emily the vampire.
Is it Emily Dickinson?
Dan, I don't think Emily
Where
Dickinson
are
is a
these names
vampire.
coming
She
from?
could.
Well-
She could not stop for death. Therefore, death
It
kindly
would,
stopped for her.
it would
I just-
explain some things.
I don't, and I apologize to this internet name generator that has done me very good with D&D names in the past, but all of their vampire names are either like extremely over the top, like it would be written with like the letters would have bat wings on them, or just normal names.
Well, it's like Victorian England.
Or like
And
modern
it's
day vampires.
Emily Dick and Moon because she wouldn't keep the sun in her name.
That's
Oh,
true.
God.
But honestly, when you get
Sounds
turned
kind
into a
of vulgar,
vampire, it's like
Yeah,
there's
you
two
don't
different
suddenly
types of
become
people.
not
Either
Emily.
you want to keep your own name,
Yeah.
so you just keep your own name, or you go badass
Yeah,
and you
I have been
name yourself
reborn
Poison.
a child of the night.
Yes.
Poison.
Yep. I'm just gonna say from my next list. Again, I think they fit into one of the other ones. You know, Astrophel.
Astrophel.
Sounds like a fallen angel.
Demetrius, Archeron, or Renee. And so,
Hi, Renee.
Hi, Renee.
hi,
Hi,
Renee. The second vampire is Renee the vampire.
Boom.
Oh no.
Wait, how's it spelled?
Sorry, Renee.
I've already closed the tab. There's no way to know.
Correct answer.
Fair.
So that was a very long turn in which the vampires' names were discussed, but technically they didn't do very much of note. Lena, you are next. You've got, it looks like you've got one a floating halberd right in your vicinity. There are
Yeah.
some vampires a bit up the stairs from you.
Lena becomes visibly enraged by the arrival of vampires
Yep,
and
check.
the fact that she still has to deal with the halberd in front of her. So when she unsheaths the sun sword, which I am sure is screaming for the blood of the vampires, she very angrily draws it down onto the sword in front of her for that's 12.
Plus your
which-
4.
Plus you're still
but-
blessed.
Roll a
But I am
D4.
blessed.
You are
Roll.
blessed.
Blessed.
Roll a 3 or higher.
That's... No.
Not that blessed. Lightly
Okay,
blessed.
so wait.
Mhm.
Oh, wait. So, but that was my short sword, not my sun sword. That's still only a 14. Okay. With her offhand, that's a 22 to hit.
Woo.
22 definitely hits.
So that will be 9 magic, but not radiant damage. That's actually 16 plus 9 damage. So
Okay.
that's 25 damage.
You've murdered a sword. Or
It really
an
made
axe.
her angry that she had to deal with it and that she missed. Yeah.
So
she
by
sends them to the
murdering that
deeps.
axe, you have cleared a bit of a path for you up the stairs if you want to run up and fight some vampires.
Yes, I think that is exactly what she wants to do. Although she does end up being next to another axe, but at least there's a vampire here
Yeah.
now that she can scowl at.
Mm-hmm.
At least there's a vampire.
All right. I think next is Samus.
All right, Samus is going to strike out. At the nearest vampire. I suppose
One of the vampires is incapacitated, so
Go
it's
for
much
the
easier to hit.
paralyzed one.
You do
because
think so?
she'll get-
Okay, then
She'll
Yeah,
get
for sure.
advantage.
Yeah. you
all
have
right, so we'll go for this one to the left, and we will roll twice. 15 to hit.
15 is the armor class of a vampire spawn. You
All
fight.
right.
You're all well-seasoned vampire spawn fighters at this point.
And then because the attack is critical,
Mm-hmm. Automatically.
remind me what I do for that.
You roll your damage
twice.
dice twice, and then you add whatever bonuses Samus has.
Right. But any
Okay,
dice you have to
so
roll
let
from
me
anything
do-
or roll twice.
2d10. And so that's 18 piercing damage against the vampire there.
Now, the challenge is that I think Samus is using her claws and teeth, which are
yes.
not silver or
magic.
magical or anything like that. So I think the vampires only get to take 9 damage.
That's fine.
Yeah, and Samus gets a mouthful of vampire juice.
Which she quickly spits out.
Okay, good. That's
Smart.
all right. Are we around to the animated halberds?
Yep.
I was just trying to keep this is one
Zach's
of those
time.
grids that's getting busy. I'm having a hard time keeping track of everything. I think I got 3 animated halberds left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So their targets are all pretty clear then, based on who they were already messing around with. Okay.
Just some axes messing around.
Yeah. I was just reminding
Just
myself
tussling.
how animated halberds are different from animated flying swords. So Crucible, the one at the bottom, will attack you. You are extremely hard for an animated halberd to fight. So it misses. Because I know you have a crazy good armor class right now.
Yeah, 37.
That's not accurate, but it might as well be.
In a row.
35.
Mhm.
Imra 7 and
No.
Broldish 12. I feel like these animated halberds like saw the vampires coming and they're just like, yeah, it's not really our thing anymore.
Or they got really sad, like, why do they always send? Why couldn't they just let us go a little bit longer before they sent in the stupid backup?
So Argal, you are next. You have I believe, a choice of animated swords or, well, actually, Argal is kind of currently not in melee with anything, but could choose to be in melee with a variety of things. I'm trying to see if I can adjust the scale of the names on this map to make it display better for me.
That would be
I
helpful.
think Aragal is going to run back and try and take care of this flying halberd. So that will be a next attack.
Okay.
Don't forget the bus.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget the
So
bus.
that's a 19. For 8 damage.
Okay, 8 damage to the one axe that had not been damaged yet.
Yeah. And then I believe nope, that is it.
Okay.
Good try, Aragal.
Poor
let's see
dear.
here.
The YA novels are really softening him.
Elevor, you are next. You are
He's
up at the
reading
top of
with
the
one hand and dueling with the other hand is the problem.
You've got a paralyzed vampire right next to you. You've got
no, he's hot now. Why would you do this?
a non-paralyzed vampire, you know.
Yeah, 24 is definitely going to hit. And
Did you roll that with advantage? Because you get advantage.
I will roll that with advantage. 24 will be the highest. And then, right, I need to do it this way.
It's an automatic crit.
Wait, so if it's normally 2d10, then I get to do 4d10?
40-10.
Skippy.
40-10.
Plus whatever your plus is, if there is one.
Holy moly.
Mhm.
That's not as high as I was hoping, but still 18 acid damage against that nearest vamp. Well,
All right.
nearest to the left.
Does it only take half because it's not magical?
Oh, is it not magical?
Just curious.
I think
It's
if
a spell.
If it's acid,
Yeah.
they do not have any resistance to acid.
Nice.
They resist bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Got it.
The basics.
So let's see, 18 damage to the paralyzed one.
Yes.
All right, that vampire is having a bad time. That vampire, as yet unnamed. Listeners, if you think that vampire should have a name, feel free putting it in the chat. And
name
I'll
our
consider
vampires.
it.
Interactivity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that I'm bad at naming vampires after naming a vampire Oliver. I'm definitely feeling confident about my
This
vampire naming
vampire
abilities.
is Gerald.
Gerald is a reasonable name for a vampire. I don't know why you'd pick on that one specifically. All right.
Gerald Darkness.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Can we call you Jerry?
And the other vampire is like, why not just
Jerry D.
Darkness, Gerald?
Yeah, Poison's going,
there's
why
an-
not just call yourself Darkness?
Because there's another Darkness like 3 towns over, and it's just
Oh,
awkward. I had to
yeah,
differentiate.
Yeah, Johnny Darkness from
Johnny
Long
Darkness is
Island.
a way better name.
Johnny Darkness.
Maybe I am good at vampire names. I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't rely on the generator. That was the problem.
Yep.
No, that
It
was
was
your
in
gut.
you the whole time.
Oh,
Use
God.
the brain generator.
All right. Elevor, you've done acid damage to a vampire. Anything else?
He does a little dance.
No. Imra.
All right. Well, since I don't have advantage over either of these vampires, I think my goal is to get rid of some attackers. So I'm going to go at this floating axe with my longsword. I got a 22 to hit.
That hits an
So
axe.
hopefully this takes it out. Oh, that's only a 4. So I've got to use a second turn on it, huh? All right. 12 plus my blessed D4. Come on, D4. Just 14 to hit for my second attack. So no.
That's with the blessing.
Yep.
All right.
So I feeling a little ineffective right now, but that seems to be my turn.
Okay. Who is after Imra? It's Brildish.
All right. Well, Brildish was paying close attention when Samus attacked that vampire and realized that those claws should have done more damage than they actually did. So she is going to use a bonus action to cast Magic Weapon on her
Yes.
Sacred Axe.
Yes.
Uh-huh. You say you can't teach old dwarves new tricks. You can. All right. And then attacking the same paralyzed vampire that Samus attacked before. I don't remember if that vampire had a name or not.
Nope. Still waiting on a great name.
Okay. Well, that was a 17 on the die,
That'll
so
hit.
definitely enough to hit. And yes, I rolled with advantage. I did not get a crit. But I mean, I get a crit anyway. If you automatically crit, but you roll a natural 20, do you get 6?
Double crit? Yeah, I was
dice?
wondering that too.
That would be amazing. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't give any additional actual damage. Well, it's a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. Okay, so that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So it is 2d8 instead of 1d8. So that is it's a total of 8 plus 4 is 12 minus 1 because it's not doing so well. Plus 1, so still 12.
Okay,
Magic
still 12.
damage.
It is finally a magic axe.
That was a journey of math. A math journey.
Yeah.
That magic it's waiting out the damage that the black pudding did to it.
Yep.
Assuming it's still up, gonna do.
It is technically not bloodied yet.
Okay, well,
The
that was a
vampire.
natural crit, so yay! It feels a lot less exciting at this point. Gotta be honest. Let's see if I can roll better. That is 10, 14 magic slashing damage.
Okay. At this point, the paralyzed vampire has taken a lot of damage and is bloodied.
How about Draven? I like that name. It's from the chat.
Draven? Is that from the chat? That is a
Yep.
great vampire name.
That is a good name.
Thank you, Kit.
Yeah, that feels like a name that, yeah. Draven? Oh, yeah. I saw Draven. He was hanging out with Johnny Darkness. That guy was up to no good.
The sad part is that he was originally had written down his name as Dr. Aven.
Dr.
And
Raven.
everyone's like Draven. And they're like,
Yeah.
but it's
even better,
I went to medical school for all this.
Mhm. But you know what? Pony is also not a fan of this
Of Draven.
particular of Draven and manages to hit.
Oh,
So-
Pony!
Yeah, go Pony indeed. So that is 4. It's a weird font on these dice. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of not magical
Yeah.
hoof damage.
All right. 5 hoof damage to this vampire. All right. Draven is not having a great night. I guess Draven is the only vampire who's taken damage so far, and Draven has taken a lot of damage. Crucible, you are next. There's still an axe menacing
Yeah.
you. There's all kinds of badness happening up the stairs from you.
I
Listeners,
think-
we have one more vampire that needs a name, just in case you have some other good names. Draven has set a very high standard.
Yeah, good luck, everybody else.
Yeah. Thank you, listener Kit Price, for Draven.
How are we feeling about should I continue with the vampire, doing something to the vampire? Or should I kill this axe? Do we have any, halberd?
Halberd.
Do we?
It's a kind of
halberd.
axe.
Is it? Yeah, because I could also try to make the ones that aren't paralyzed run away, which would give you all a bunch of opportunity attacks. Just
Does
nothing.
forced movement provoke?
I think it's not, because it's not forced movement. I'm not pushing them. They are scared and running away,
Mhm.
so they will provoke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna move.
I mean, I love that.
I think that could be fun. Let's do that. I should have a channel divinity, right? I don't really use them very much. Channel that, divinity that, and I'm going to use 3 charges from the holy symbol. And that says if I have turn undead, I can expend 3 charges when presenting the holy symbol while using that feature, and the undead have disadvantage on the saving throw. So Tony, would you have all the non-paralyzed, presumably? Well, I guess the paralyzed ones.
Is there a reason that the paralyzed
I guess
ones
it would
can't be
still.
turned?
They would just be really mean because they'll be standing there
Yeah,
wanting to
yeah.
run, but they're paralyzed.
Just running in place. You know?
Yeah. So that is going to be a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw,
So
and they have
still wisdom.
disadvantage.
All right, I'm going to roll these one at a time because it's with disadvantage. Here is rolling for Oliver. Roll 20 says, rolling the dice, 4 and 15. So Oliver fails. Rolling for Renee, 7 and 18. Renee fails.
See you next time,
Rolling-
Renee.
Sorry, Mom.
Yep. Rolling for Draven, 6 and 15. Draven fails. Rolling for TB named vampire, 14 and 11.
But it's
Fourth and
Blizzard.
final vampire. So all of the vampires are turned. When you turn
But not
undead, they are
not
basically
turned.
like
That's a different sort of vampire.
they are. Yeah, so they remind us what turn undead does in this situation. They basically
So-
have to move away from you.
Yes, if the creature fails the saving throw, it's turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage, just FYI. So you can let them run away or you can try to murder them.
So that's tricky
turn
because they're
creature-
going to run past you, but then as soon as you hit them, they
Correct. So you
Snap
also
out
don't
of it.
have to hit them, but it will give you opportunity attacks. A turn creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of me, and it can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If it has nowhere to move, it can dodge.
Is it not pushed? I thought there was a push.
It's
with
not
turn undead.
pushed.
Okay.
It's choosing to run because it is afeared.
Okay. And it's not doing that as a reaction. It's going to do that on its turn.
Correct.
All right. Anything else then?
Nope, that felt pretty good. Any
Okay.
healing? How are we doing?
Oh, good.
Imra got hit a few
I'm
times.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, Imra did.
I'm at 55 of 67, so I'm all right.
Okay.
I will
My mom is
reserve
not
the healing.
impressed by the vampire named Renee.
I'm sorry. Renee. It was
FYI.
not-
It was spelled differently. It's fine.
Yeah.
mm.
The vampire spells it EE, that's the boring way.
With an accent and everything.
In that case, I am good.
All right. So the vampires are next. Dan, this is going to be a little tricky here because, first off, 2 of them are paralyzed and they're turned. So nothing happens, right?
Where are they going, Tony?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Dan. Nowhere. Now, one of those vampires that's going nowhere is Dr. Raven or Draven to his vampire friends. The 4th vampire, we've got some quality submissions here. It has been suggested names that have been suggested in the chat include Jezebeth. I apologize. I feel like
I don't know how to pronounce that one either.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get
Hemion.
Hermione?
I'm going to say
Oh, it's
no just because
Hermione.
it's too hard to pronounce.
It's almost Hermione, but it's
Yeah.
Hermione.
It's like Hermione, but like hegemony.
It's like
Um,
Hermione. It's like Hermione, but if you've got like caramel in your mouth. Hermione.
Mike
I told you not to eat
Sargent
that caramel,
puts
Dan.
Don't know
puts
him.
in the chat.
I did. It was delicious.
Azramor Bloodfang. sorry, Mike. It's the 2 names. It's like if you were Azramor or Bloodfang.
Well, yeah,
but when your
choose one of-
name is Azramor,
Azramor Bloodfang.
it's
It's
also,
great.
Mike
That's an
also
OTT
likes
vampire.
Malachi, which I think is
I
biblical.
think Malachi sounds
Um,
like a vampire.
And
name
then
for sure.
Matthew suggests Irving, but you have to pronounce it like you're from Long Island. Oiving.
Oiving. Hey, Oiving.
Oiving rhymes with fang, sort of. So I vote for that one.
Oiving.
Oiving. Okay.
I'm a purist. I like Malachi.
Yeah,
I do too,
Malachi.
yeah.
I think, all right. I think, you know what? Just because I think it was the one that we actually consistently pronounced,
Yeah, there's
going
that
with
too.
Malachi. We're finding out the new limits on our system here, which is we're bad at words, people. So if you can make these real simple,
Ooh.
you know.
The last
Welcome
one.
to our podcast. We can't talk.
The last one being called Heme is really, I like
I think that was a reference to it.
That's our pronunciation. Yeah.
Like
But
being born.
what if he just goes for heme for short? That's like
Heme,
that vampire took things way too seriously. Like heme. And everyone's like, heme is like, yeah, it means blood. It's like, why
Yeah,
is
I
this
love it.
blood?
It's like a try hard vampire.
All right. So Malachi paralyzed, Draven paralyzed, Renee has been turned, and Renee is in a challenging situation here because Renee dropped down into the middle of all of you, seeking to cause confusion and delay, and has now been caused to run away by Turn Undead. Now you look and up the stairs, and there's a saber-toothed tiger and a druid. You look down the stairs, and there's a ranger and a dog. And I think when that's your situation, the only thing that Renée can do is spider climb the heck out of there. So Renée just zooped up the wall, spider climb, but I think is gonna provoke from Imra, Samus, and Elevor as that happens. I think Oliver is going to do the same. You only get one opportunity attack per round, so you can't. You don't get a free swipe on both of them. So, though I think Oliver would also provoke from Lena. So
I would say focus fire on one and let one run away. Don't hit them both, because then they'll stop.
Was it Renée that was first? I think we should do Renée.
Go for it.
If we're trying to focus fire, it would have to be the other one that we focus on, because I'm only adjacent to one of them.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, whichever one the most of us can hit.
Hate it, Oliver.
Each of you roll an attack on Oliver. Micah, you're rolling attacks for Samus and for Elevor.
Okie dokie.
Crit.
What? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone do cool things for the vampire?
Oh, yeah. 20 and 22.
You're going to attack, you're going to stab a vampire in the back as it's running away?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
That's 14 radiant damage.
Let me just remind you what happens to vampires when they take radiant damage.
They sparkle.
It's radiant, not sunlight. But radiant causes its regeneration to not work. Fine. All right.
I got 11 points of magic longsword damage.
Let me do this one at a time. 11 points of longsword damage, 14 points of radiant. Elevor, what do you got over there?
12 points full-on damage, because that's from the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. 7 points of acid damage that came from the spell. And then 12 total for Samus's bite, so that's halved, so 6.
All right.
Piercing.
Well, Oliver, not technically bloodied, but really pissed off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And Jane, you said it's actually, I need to do
18
4 more.
points of radiant damage.
Update on Oliver's bloodied or not situation. Oliver is bloodied. So
Nice.
Oliver is rushing up the wall, dripping vampire blood. Renée, mint condition, up on the wall. Both of them like hissing and scowling at you, but just looking kind of like treed cats as they've just like climbed up the wall away from you. Well, that's great. Okay, so that was the vampires. Sorry, the vampires are a lot to manage here. I believe I still have 2 vampires that are paralyzed that get to save against being paralyzed.
They do get to save against being paralyzed.
They can certainly try.
Yeah.
All right, Draven.
I believe they need a 15 on wisdom
And
saving
Malachi. Is that I've already forgotten if that what we said. They both
throw.
rolled less than 15. They got each got an 11. So
Nice.
no good. Still paralyzed. Draven does regenerate some hit points. Because Draven, I don't believe, has taken any radiant damage recently.
I could have
But
done
yes.
some and I forgot. So
Yep.
next time.
So I will just remind you, because we got 4 vampires here.
Maybe not.
Renée, mint condition. Oliver, bloodied. Renée and Oliver both climbing up the wall above both of you. Draven, paralyzed, pretty badly hurt. And Malachi, paralyzed, but has taken no damage. Lena, the vampires that you came to kill ran away.
It's always so frustrating when that happens. So she'll take her frustrations out on this halberd. That will hit. That is going to be
Kill it.
28 radiant damage on the halberd.
Unnecessary.
Nice.
The halberd is basically just incinerated. Its ashes drip.
She makes
softly.
eye contact with Oliver.
Okay, I was gonna say you can't make eye contact with the halberd because no eyes.
Yeah. As she like slices it in half with her radiant glowing
So
lightsaber sword.
All right.
And then I'm actually going to, while I have the option, scoot up here so I'm not on the edge of the stairs when I don't have to be.
All right. Samus, I think you are next.
All right, Samus is going to strike out at not strike out, hopefully we'll actually hit, the vampire to the left. And 24 is going to hit.
Yeah,
Nice.
you all are rolling well now.
I know, this is exciting. And
I don't like
that's going
It's
to
not
be
fair.
It would be 15 slashing damage total if that
be
would work.
7.
So it'll be half of that.
All right. Draven just lost most of the hit points that they regenerated, so that's frustrating. The team animated halberd is next. There are only 2 halberds remaining. One of them lunges with its body, because its body is an axe. It swings in the direction of Crucible. I rolled a critical fail, which is not going to hit Crucible.
Crucible catches the halberd
and
as
then
it
just shoves it back slightly.
And pats it on the blade.
On the blade? That's dangerous. The last
Clearly
remaining
not.
halberd swings at Broldish. I rolled a number that I'm not going to say out loud. Technically better than a critical fail, but a single digit. All right. Let us go back around to the top. We start with Argal, followed by Elevor, Imra, Broldish, Crucible, and then vampires.
So we have Argal up against the halberd.
Yep, unless he wants to do a ranged attack on some wall vampires.
The first is a 14, does not hit. The second does hit.
Yay.
So that is 8 damage to the halberd.
That halberd is hanging on there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no. All right, that's Argal.
That's Argal.
Elevor rolls a 19 to hit the nearest vampire and does 13 acid damage to said vampire.
All right.
And that's with your dice twice.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting to do that. So let me try that again. 40-10. That's 21 acid damage.
I just did 13, so math is 8 more. Math is 8 more. All right, things are not looking good for Draven.
Still not down yet, though?
Still not. I'll remember you fought those vampires that you fought in the coffin shop. Vampire spawn. They are tough for vampires that do not come with pre-assigned names. They're tough. They have a lot of hit points. They have the capacity to regenerate. They are murder machines. If you did not have a cleric, you would probably be in super bad shape.
You kept mentioning the coffin shop, and I kept thinking it sounds like a joke on a coffee shop. And then I remembered I went to a bar that was in a former funeral parlor in Seattle called the Pine Box.
Speed round.
Sorry.
Speed round, our sponsor,
later.
Or
Yep.
Oh, great! I
Imra.
get it. I thought you were saying the name of the place was Speed.
Oh no, it's Imra's turn.
What's great is that was so confusing to me that we've now lost time. It's Imra's turn. Speed round.
All right, so I am aiming at the halberd to the up.
So one by Crucible?
The west.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up to the up.
To the up. And I got a 25 to hit and 12 points of damage on that one.
All right.
Assuming that takes it
halberd
out.
is torn apart at the shaft by a arrow. Its parts scattered down the stairs.
Thank goodness. So I'm gonna turn and aim at the one by Crucible. That is a 19 to hit.
Nice.
All right. Can you do 1 damage?
I can do 9 better.
You have finished what Argal started.
Okay.
The halberd team is destroyed.
Nice.
4 vampires stand between you and Strahd's heart.
Haha.
All set, Imra?
Yep.
Broldish.
All right. I am still attacking this same. Oh, wow. I'm crappily attacking the same vampire.
Okay,
For-
quick question.
Yeah.
So vampires that are paralyzed fail their checks, right?
Not all of them. Just strength.
Just strength?
Dex, I think.
Dex.
What's the check that you make to not fall backwards off of a
I know.
ledge?
I was wanting to push.
That's got to
Guess
be
what?
dexterity.
I already had that thought. So
Oh, nice.
but I still get my second attack just to see what happens because 4 plus 8 is 12. Yeah, that wouldn't have hit even with my advantage. That does hit. And it's an automatic crit, so I get, where did I put them? 6 and 8 is 14 plus 4 is 18 slashing magical damage. Is it still alive? No. Okay. Don't need to push it.
Technically, it hasn't been alive in a long time because it's a vampire.
Yes.
Yes, you lunge out with your axe. I keep using lunge when it's not really. You swing out with your axe,
Swing.
Brolish, and I imagine probably just decapitate Draven. The head falls first, and then the body tumbles backward into the bottomless pit that is this extremely unsafe tower hallway in Ravenloft.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have any bonus actions. Well, I mean, I used an attack action, so I can shove. I can't shove this particular one off, but I could shove it backwards, which might make it prone and easier to hit. So
I mean, it's already gives you. It's already
Oh,
We
yeah.
already have
conferring advantage. So
That's
prone will make it harder if anybody's attacking it ranged.
Yeah,
that's true. But if it makes it saving throw, then it's already on the floor.
True point.
Also, when you have a chance to knock a vampire down,
Yeah.
knock
Yeah,
that
it's
vampire
true.
down.
Follow your heart. What would Broldish do?
If he gets
Yeah,
knocked
the
down,
shield-
what if he gets
Brildish
back up
has her
again?
shield
But he's
master
frozen.
shove, which she hasn't gotten a chance to use for a while. So yeah, gonna try to shove. So it is a contested check. I'm just double checking. I think it's my
If it's strength, it loses, right? Because it's
Yeah,
paralyzed.
it's athletics versus athletics or dex, which it can't do either.
It's
so
Yep.
paralyzed and paralyzed. So yeah.
yep. So I knock it prone or push it 5 feet away from me.
Which one would you like to do?
I want to push it 5 feet away from me.
All right, you knock a vampire
Up the stairs.
Yep.
Pow with a shield. That's it.
right.
And since I knocked it away, Pony no longer can attack it, and he's fine with that.
All right. Crucible, you are kind of in safety at the bottom of the stairs. There are 3 vampires, 2 up the walls, 1 just straight up the stairs from you.
How much do we hit the one running up the wall?
You bloodied Oliver.
Great.
Please, sir,
And-
give him some more.
You know that
Yeah.
it took about 40 points of damage to do that.
Okay. I will raise a hand and cast forth a guiding bolt, which I am guiding bolt, which I'm going to cast at 4th level. Let's do that. Range spell attack. Where'd my dice go?
Oh no.
This is going great. All right, rolling in d20.
Speed round.
Yep, going great.
Love that
usual.
coffee shop.
Yeah.
Thank God they sponsored us. 23.
I mean, it's a good name for a coffee shop.
Well, they'd be like speed grounds or something like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
good. That's
23.
23 will hit
23.
a vampire.
Yep, great. And at 4th level, which I cast that at, it will do 76 damage. Sorry, 76 damage.
7d6 damage. And what kind of damage? It's force damage.
like
I
probably.
believe it's radiant, actually, because...
Oh.
Yep, because cleric, baby. That's a lot of 4s.
Yeah, that is a lot of force. I mean,
Mhm.
21 radiant damage, and then I don't think I can
all right,
do
your
my...
force bolt rips out, and I just imagine just takes just a good-sized chunk of Oliver's torso out.
Excellent.
Oliver looks concerned.
I think that is all I can do, but the radiant damage should stop him from regenerating for a turn. So
It will.
And does Guiding Bolt have a secondary effect?
It did. Oh yeah, you're right. It does. Thank you. I almost never use this. Next attack roll made against target before the end of my next turn has advantage because they're literally sparkly.
Nice.
I'm putting a little lightning bolt symbol on Oliver to indicate that your next attack is guided to hit.
Somebody hit Oliver for all they're worth.
All right. The vampire spawn's turn is next. Poor Malachi, still paralyzed. Renee, mint condition. Oliver, badly injured and mad. Oliver is just going to drop down and attempt to murder Lena.
Cool.
Is this a good choice? No. But is it what Oliver is going to do?
Let's dance, Oliver.
Yeah, especially because Oliver has basically dropped down like on the side of the stairs.
Yeah.
For, you know.
Now, so being turned only lasts for that one round?
No,
that-
the being turned. He's not turned, but he's been damaged.
Oh,
He's been
that's
damaged.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
Renee
he
is
ran
still-
up the wall because he was turned.
I believe
Yeah.
Renee is still running for the next minute, basically.
Oh, okay. So Renee just keeps climbing away.
Yeah, basically, as long as she has not been damaged, she
I'm just
has to
gonna
go further away from me.
I'm just gonna put Renee on another map.
Now that's some effective turning.
That's yeah. Basically, I mean, think of turning as like instilling them with fear, right?
See you
So-
next time, Renee.
Yeah.
Wow.
right. So
Okay.
Oliver drops down
Yep.
and is going to try and give you the vampire's embrace, Lena.
Ew.
Yep.
That's first
I
of all
have rolled-
non-consensual.
No, that's how vampires work. They're.
That's
I
why
mean,
nobody
it's,
likes
it's,
vampires.
it's a pretty
How
direct metaphor
gross.
Yeah.
for sexual assault. Sorry, that blame. You know what? Don't blame me. Blame Bram
Blame
Stoker.
vampires.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Lena's gonna kill him. Don't worry about it.
Yep. All right. So first off, I've done great. I have grappled you with a 24.
Yep.
The vampire chooses to do no damage to you, such that it could then follow that up with a bite attack.
Ew.
Yep. That's a much less impressive 13.
That does not hit.
All right, so the vampire has you, grappled and tries to sink its fangs. Oliver tries to sink his fangs into your neck, but he's just biting at air. He looks very hungry. Lena,
Dude, have a Snickers.
it's your turn to do something about that.
Oh, I want
There's more
Snickers.
than one type of hunger.
Mm.
That's a non-natural 20.
Math's 20.
Yeah, math's 20, and then 23 radiant damage.
All right, that's not great. Lena, what just happened to Oliver?
Well, Oliver was leaning in to bite Lena, not realizing that the radiant sword had already gone in through his ichor-stained gut.
Oh no!
And she pulls it out and Spartan kicks him into the pit.
Oliver bounces off several stairs on the way down.
Yep.
Um,
And then
Oh, man.
she's going
He's
to
all
take her movement, although I don't think I can. Yes, here we go. So she is going to go 1, 2. And take her second attack. Which won't use her modifier because it's her 2-weapon fighting. So that's going to be
and you have advantage as you close on Malachi, the paralyzed vampire.
Yep. Okay, so with her other short sword, that'll be 11 magic damage.
All right. First blow on Malachi, the only remaining vampire, as Renee has fled. Malachi still paralyzed, so a lot of you are going to get free hits on Malachi. I didn't announce it, but I did roll for Malachi saving against paralysis right at the end there on Lena's turn, and Malachi failed.
Nothing cooler than a vampire who's just like, I'm so cool, I'm a vampire.
I'll
Can't
remind you-
move.
Malachi is paralyzed, so many of you get to go before Malachi would even get a chance to save again. And Malachi can't take opportunity attacks, so many people can
the
run up to
imagery here
Malachi.
of standing
punch
around a
him,
vampire
and
and,
then
beating
Yep.
him to death.
No,
is
Just
but-
leave
a
me
little
space,
uncomfortable.
Brildish.
Well, but you're on a narrow staircase, so the key is not you can't all converge on him. You have to run up to him, hit him, and then leave. You have to run down the stairs. So
It's like it's like a slight variant on a dunk tank, basically.
yeah. So
Yep.
Samus, would you like to lope up the
Samus,
stairs?
Can I
Actually,
make
what
the
Samus is-
suggestion that instead of just killing him, somebody walks up, bodily holds him up, and then just drops him over the
But that might not be enough to kill him until we
Yeah.
soften him up first.
It's a long way
So-
down.
Samus limbers up and backs up.
We could carry
But
him further
It's not
up
magical damage.
and then
Falling is
try
not
it.
magical.
You gotta go up to go down.
But backs up and then rushes forward because in doing so is able to run 20 feet forward.
Nice.
And so first thing that happens is a 21, which I know hits. And then I know now first we're going to do +5. So that's 15 damage. And
Half it.
remind me, if a target is prone, no strength check, correct?
Well, they'd automatically
Or
fail
sorry,
it
I'm
anyway.
sorry, if
paralyzed.
a target is paralyzed, no strength check, right?
No strength check, so you just
So-
knock them down.
Now knocked prone,
Nice.
and now I get to do another bite.
Now you maul.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 9 that time. So 7
Remember, you have
and 9.
advantage. 9 more damage.
Yeah.
But I'm having it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's 18
All right.
total, so I already had it for you. So
you
it's
have it for me. Oh, you
yeah.
don't need to do that. I have things. Whatever number you give me, I'm going to have them. So don't do
Okay,
that.
18.
Yeah,
18.
thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Samus tears just a chunk out of Malachi. I imagine maybe just and then returns down the stairs to leave space for others.
Yes.
I kind of imagine Samus just kind of casually coming down the stairs holding one of Malachi's arms.
And then takes it and just goes and throws it over the edge and
Throws it over the
edge.
That's just
Guys,
a jerk
somebody
move.
has to clean up all the dead vampires at the bottom of this pit.
We did already kill one of the maids.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I mean, probably like a very low level vampire with a broom.
the
It's
broom
11.
vampire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speed round.
Argyle.
I pre-rolled 2 crossbow bolts from Argyle, both hit, and that is 28 piercing damage.
Is it magical?
It is not.
All right. Well, things are not looking good. Malachi is bloodied.
Yay.
Elevor.
Elevor, and I actually rolled this earlier, is also going to rush forward and primally savage Malachi, and that's going to be 30 acid damage
How'd you get to 30?
because
Nice.
it's 4d10.
It's a lot of dice.
And you rolled
40,
really
10.
well.
40,
and I
10.
rolled 2 10s, 7 and a 3.
That'll do it.
Mhm.
That's math. All right. Malachi is. You know what? When you guys are only fighting one vampire, you're great at fighting vampires.
One paralyzed vampire.
One paralyzed vampire? That is not a fair fight. All right, Malachi looks like maybe one really good hit or 2 lesser hits is all it's going to take.
Elevor also
Yep.
backs up.
Imra,
All right. Well, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20 to get here so I can do magic damage.
yep, that's the preferred damage
Um,
type.
It's a 14 plus. So that's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
All right. And rolled a 10. And I get to do double. I forgot. So there's 11 plus 2 is 13 sword damage. And then my second attack.
A second
Oh,
attack
wow.
is unnecessary.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
So
But I'm
you-
really into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cody-
well, you know what? You can still do it.
Yeah, Crucible pre-roll.
You
I
can have a
pre-rolled Crucible's
discretionary
attacks.
second attack.
I
Yeah.
pre-rolled Crucible's attacks too, so they run up just because they want to be part of it. And they stab.
So
Yeah.
does Pony. Pony
All
actually
right.
hit as well. Hoof, hoof, hoof. I
Now we're
didn't
just
roll for
being
Brillish.
bullies.
Yep. You can't
Pony
bully
probably just like shoves the body off the edge.
friends. You can't bully the undead. They have it coming. All right. As the dust clears, there is just kind of some kind of tattered remains of what was Malachi, the vampire who did nothing.
That's a terrible children's book.
Mm.
Malachi the vampire who did nothing. Oh.
The beating of the heart seems to kind of slow, perhaps as it is worried that it has no protectors. And so, though Renée the vampire lurks somewhere in the tower above you,
we'll get her.
There are no protectors left between you and Strahd's giant crystalline heart beating here in the tower. Will you totally destroy the heart, or will you make friends with it? Probably you're going to hurt it. To see how they destroy the heart, to see what happens to Renée, to see if they go further up in this tower or back down, because Ravenloft is a big, weird place. Tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing the Dog and Pony Adventures in Castle Ravenloft, Curse of Strahd. Don't put those together and call it Curse of Ravenloft because you're talking really fast and nothing bad can happen. Erica will slow this down later and make it sound perfect. So we are continuing our Dog and Tony. You know what?
Dog and Tony show.
We are.
Man,
It is.
It always has been.
Have you considered
Do
a
we
career
want
as
to just take it from the top?
Tony? Have you considered a career as a Micro Machine spokesman? Because you should reconsider.
First of all, I don't think. Yeah. First of all, no. That obviously I'm super bad at that. Second of all, is that guy dead? Third of all, I don't think Micro Machines still exist. Listeners, if Micro Machines still exists, write into Dan Morin at 123 Fake Street, Somerville, Massachusetts.
Which is the address that you mail things to.
.com.
What's happening tonight?
Zip
What?
code.
Jane is correct.
ABC,
You
XYZ.
need to take it from the top.
No, this is all gold. You'll just take all the words I've said and stitch them together.
The Incomparable Podcast Network. Become a member and support this show today. theincomparable.com/members